Came up with everything 420. I bought like 40 or 50 domain names all in 420 because I knew that we would make it one day. I knew that they would legalize it. I dedicated my life, and so did Meen Green. We took off where Jack left off, and we were like, we gonna make sure that they're gonna legalize this shit. And we were in competition because I was a grinder and Meen was a grinder. And all we did was grind. I would call him and say, look what I'm doing. And then he would call me and say, hey, look what I'm doing. And he used to rap, and he still raps, and I used to rap, and I still rap. And I will tell you, nobody put down 420 hip hop like he did. Okay, Jack here and all in, we were pushing that shit. Nobody was pushing it. Cypher Hill, maybe. That was the only one, but he stayed in that motherfucking 420 hip hop lane. And nobody else really did that. And he never gave up. But other than that, he was a pioneer. Every new shit, he was behind it. Seedless, he was the first one rapping Seedless. Now that is a product, okay? You talking about a rapper pushing a product. People don't do that. Nowadays, they just waking up to that shit, okay? But he was one of the first ones to do it. He connected the cannabis industry with the product industry. Nobody was going to Champs. Nobody was going to Champs. And he brought the cannabis community over to Champs. He brought me to Champs. He said, look, there's a whole bunch of money you can get over here. They ain't gonna fuck with y'all because it ain't illegal. We can get in these pipe shops and we can run these products and we can get rich. And I was with him. And he would bring along everybody with you. You know, when you get in the game, you can be like, fuck that, fuck that. A lot of people did that. He made a lot of people rich. And a lot of people said, fuck that. And a lot of people didn't give back to him. And he was just about to blow up, man. These people been in the game 15, 20 years. A lot of them got cut out. Families, a lot of them got cut out. They put all their money in dispensaries and all that shit. And then the government just took that shit from them. You know, these were lanes that we had to dodge and shit because they didn't want us to have nothing. And then Meen, what he did was, I'm gonna stay in a lane, I'm gonna start these sessions. When they stopped shutting down before high times and any of that shit, okay? When they stopped shutting down high times, where would all the growers go? They had to come up with sessions, and he made one. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of like when this industry loses the cool, that's what Meen Green was. You go to all these events, the high times events, you go to all these events, he was cool as fuck. And then now, when you go to an event and he's not there, or whatever, it's not as cool as it was. He did a lot of shit behind the scenes that he's not gonna get credit for, and I just want to give him credit for that. And, yeah, and just letting everybody know, like, these are real facts. He's a pioneer. We lost like a Steve Jobs and shit. Because he'd be behind the scenes hooking people up saying, hey, Seedless, you should talk to this company. This rapper, you should get in this game. You should push this product. I remember I brought, because of Meen, I brought Lazy down to the industry. I said, look, man, you can make a whole bunch of money getting products made. And before that, nobody was coming down to Champs like that. Now everybody's coming to Champs. You know, he had the after party to Champs. You know, they don't just give after parties to anybody. You know, this is something that he was on the weed side, yeah. He wouldn't smoke out anybody because that's how he was a boss. You know, so when you're a boss, man, you gotta smoke people out. You know, you're in the company of a boss, you can't let your people not have weed and not be high. But he didn't act like it. You know what I'm saying? He was real as real could get. And I just want you guys to realize he connected the community. He was all about peace. And just don't let his legend die like that, y'all. Just keep, you know, pushing positivity, and Meen Green letting people know he's a pioneer, and he's the reason why a lot of industries are thriving right now. You know, and we going in the direction that we don't gotta do all the bullshit that we used to do, you know? And when corners get cut and we got to go in a different direction, Meen Green is like, oh, this is what we do. He had a stage. When they didn't let us smoke with the 420 football shit, when we were smoking back at the collectives and they didn't let us smoke, he was like, hey, we going to make a stage in Vegas and we can play the games out there. We're going to have games going in Vegas and the stage and everything. We talk about a man that thought years ahead of everybody else and just was waiting for everybody to catch up. So I just want you guys, I thank you guys that are here. I'm so glad you guys are here because you guys realize what he meant to everybody. So just spread that and just let people know, all right? So that's all I got to say. Thanks, y'all.
Sure. Let me say one more thing, too, about Meen Green. I was at Meen Green's house when Swisher Sweets sent him email. They sent him a cease and desist, but it was just so they could know who he was.
That's right.
And they didn't want him to shut him down. They just was like, no, they was like, keep doing your thing. He's actually helping the brand.
Yeah.
You know, keep fucking doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to share that. I was right there. You know, Swisher Sweets, you know, it's all good. He loved the shit. I wanted him to not smoke as many of those, but he did that. And I smoked a whole bunch of the motherfuckers with that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In the name of the brand, you know, Swisher Streets, because it's really not about. It's about connecting the streets. You know what I'm saying? It's about where do the blunt ashes go? They go right on the curb, like on the side of the curb. You know. So that's where we all end up. You know what I'm saying? We're not accepted by the mainstream. You know what I'm saying? We end up.